I will now call this meeting to order. We have a quorum. This meeting is being webcast live and recorded. The recording or webcast may capture images and sounds of those attending the meeting. Closed session items are as follows. 2.1, recommended expulsion. 2.2, public employee assignment, reassignment, appointment. 2.3, public employee discipline, dismissal, release complaints. 2.4, conference with labor negotiator. 2.5, conference with legal counsel, existing litigation. 2.6, conference with real property negotiators. 2.7, anticipated litigation. 3 matters involve facts and circumstances that might result in litigation against the district, but which facts and circumstances are not yet known to the potential plaintiff or plaintiffs. 1.5, public comment on any closed session item will be heard at this time. Pursuant to board policy, the board may limit individual comments to no more than 3 minutes and individual topics to 20 minutes. It is recommended you begin your comments by stating your name. And seeing that there is no public comment, the board will now adjourn to closed session. Welcome. We will now convene the regular session. Alondro Moran will serve as our Spanish interpreter for this meeting. Meeting attendees who would like to listen to the Spanish interpretation of the proceedings, please pick up the headphones from the table located in the back of this room. This announcement will now be shared in Spanish.
Alondra Morán servirá como intérprete al español para esta reunión. Invitamos a los asistentes de la reunión que deseen escuchar la interpretación al español, el ir por audífonos a la mesa ubicada al fondo de esta sala de reuniones. Gracias.
Thank you. This meeting is being webcast live and recorded. The recording or webcast may capture images and sounds of those attending the meeting. Members of the public who would like to provide public comment on items listed on tonight's agenda, we recommend you fill out the public comment form, the green form located on the table at the northeast entrance of this room. Please hand the completed form to Executive Assistant Leisha Weatherford before the item comes up on the agenda. She is on the west side of the meeting room. We recommend you complete a separate form for each agenda item which you would like to comment. Members of the public providing public comment, please use a microphone on the stand located in the front of the room. We'll now do the Pledge of Allegiance. Board Member Randy Villegas will lead us in the pledge. Please stand. Um, 3.5, report action taken in closed session. In closed session on a motion by Board Member Otto and a second by Board Member Villegas, the board agreed unanimously by a vote of 6-0 with 1 absent to appoint Yolanda Monzalez to the position of interim principal of Sequoia Continuation High School. Little bit about her. Yolanda currently serves as the assistant principal of Sequoia Continuation High School, where she served since 2019. She began her career in education as a social science teacher at Hanford West High School, where she taught for 6 years, followed by 5 additional years teaching social science at Corcoran High School. In addition to teaching, she has served the restorative justice coordinator at Hanford High School for a year and taught for a year with the Upward Bound program at West Hills Community College. Ms. Monsalves holds a Bachelor of Arts in History and in Chicano Studies and a master's degree in multicultural, multilingual education from California State University, Fresno. She holds a single subject teaching credential in social science and an administrative service credentials. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, congratulations, Ms. Yolanda Monsalves. Also in closed session on a motion by Board Member Gamoyan and a second by Board Member DeYoung, the board agreed unanimously by a vote of 6 yeas, 0 nays, 1 absent, to approve the dismissal of a certificated employee EID number 3170 effective October 23rd, 2025. In closed session on a motion by Board Member DeYoung and second by Board Member Villegas, the board agreed unanimously by a vote of 6 with 1 absent to approve a settlement agreement between the district and CSEA classified employee EID 24993. Also in closed session on a motion by Board Member Belt, second by Board Member Naylor, the board agreed unanimously by a vote of 6 with 1 absent to approve a settlement agreement between the district and CSEA classified employee EID 17299. Moving on to 3.6, revisions to enclosure items and adoption of the meeting agenda. There are revised item enclosures 4.1, 4.2, 6.18, 6.20, and 6.21. Do I have a motion to adopt the board meeting agenda?
So I'll make the motion.
Second.
On a motion by Board Member Belt, second by Board Member Gamoyan, call for the vote.
Motion passes 6 yes, no no's. Student votes yes, and 1 absent.
Moving on to 3.7, student performance, Mount Whitney High School Advanced Orchestra. Executive Director of Student Services, Natalie Garza.
All right, please welcome to the stage Mount Whitney High School Advanced Orchestra. The Mount Whitney Orchestra is under the direction of Maxton Vieira and Assistant Director Jaden Perez. Tonight they will be performing a piece titled Compassion by composer Rosano Galante, and they wrote this piece in memory of a 14-year-old student to inspire us to be more compassionate to those around us. Board members, we invite you to leave your seats and step to the front so that you may have a better view. Let's go ahead and welcome the Mount Whitney Advanced Orchestra. Beautiful job, and thank you once again to the Mount Whitney Advanced Orchestra.
Moving on to 4.1 Spotlight on Good Things Happening in the District. Presenter, Superintendent Kirk Schrum.
All right. Thank you, Madam President, board members, and our guest. Obviously, always a great way to start our board meetings with the great things happening, and that's another example with our students and their talent. Thank you to Mount Whitney. Always our VAPA programs and orchestra do an outstanding job. So thank you to those students for coming out tonight and starting our meeting. So lots going on in the district, obviously, as we move into the holiday season, beginning with Red Ribbon Week. Multiple schools observe this week through a variety of events. It's meant to raise awareness of drug and violence prevention. Appreciate our teams engaging with local law enforcement, families on an important topic, and you can see pretty much every school across the district participated in this event recently. Also occurring in November is Veterans Day. Obviously, we are not in session on that day out of observance of the day. Several schools also held celebrations before and after the event. Some schools invited local veterans for morning assemblies, and some held evening assemblies as well. If you drove by Willow Glen Elementary, you saw some flags and other things up in front of their site. Again, to honor our community's veterans, and to all veterans, thank you for your service. Spotlight on our sites, career days. Many schools welcomed a wide range of community organizations, local employers, and industry partners onto campus. Students had the opportunity to explore different career paths, ask questions directly to professionals, and engage in hands-on or interactive activities to help them better understand real-world work-life expectations. Another event, I had the opportunity to go to this the very first year I was here, Golden West High School's 6th Annual Back in School Car Show. This fundraiser brought in over 130 registered cars, 13 student entries, and more than 1,000 community spectators, supported by 53 volunteers, including the Golden West Key Club. The event featured a student performance from the Trailblazer Choir, La Sierra Academy Color Guard presenting the flags, plus a wide range of food and merchandise vendors and 29 trophy categories. Thank you to all the sponsors who helped put this event together for our community. Also, all of our high schools got to participate in this, but Golden West also was the host site for the U.S. Navy's Strike Group Mixed Reality Experience, which gives students a first-hand look at STEM in action, showcasing real-world careers in aviation, robotics, underwater construction, and navigation. Committed to preparing every student for college and career, including potential service in the armed forces, experiences like this help students see how classroom learning translates into real opportunities aligned with their skills and their interest. And I understand they had a little bit of a rainy start, but were able to complete the event during that day. Another great event showcasing our community and just the partnerships that exist occurred at Ivanhoe. On October 10th, we held our first dental screening of the year at Ivanhoe Elementary School in partnership with Dr. Barnes Dental Wellness Foundation. A total of 87 students in grades 3 through 6 participated in this important health initiative, 8 of which resulted in referrals for immediate care. The Dental Wellness Foundation will return on November 10th to host a clinic offering cleanings, x-rays, and other procedures for our students. We're thrilled to see this clinic and expanding access to dental care for our students. Healthy smiles make for healthy learners. We appreciate our Family and Community Resource Center for working with our partners and Dr. Barnes and his team and expanding this to other parts of our community. Spotlight on student success. Recently, students from our district were chosen from over 5,000 nominations for the prestigious Providence Salerno Family Foundation Kids of Character Awards from Tulare County Office of Ed. These honorees were among 42 top students and were celebrated during TCOE's 30th Character Counts Week. And you can see we had 4 students that were selected for that round, representing several of our elementary schools there. Very proud of all of our students that were nominated and those that were selected. Now, it's not just students that receive awards of excellence through TCOE as well. Proud to announce that Principal Dory Bingham of Shannon Ranch was named as a finalist for TCOE's Administrator Manager of the Year. Christina Delgadillo was recognized as Teacher of the Year nominee, and Diego Andrade not pictured as School Employee of the Year nominee. These honorees represent the dedication, professionalism, and service that define our district. We had an opportunity to recognize them a couple of weeks ago at a TCOE breakfast, so congratulations to all of them. Again, continuing our staff, some of you might have seen this on social media this weekend. Several of our teachers were honored by the California Agricultural Teachers Association at their awards banquet. El Diamantes, Mr. Brown, Ms. Van Husen, Ms. Martin, and Mr. Monterio were recognized as the outstanding four-person team in Tulare Kings County section. Golden West, Mr. Schultz was named Outstanding Ag Mechanics Teacher, and Ms. Campbell was named Outstanding Animal Sciences Teacher, also in the Tulare Kings section. These awards highlight the dedication, expertise, and impact our educators have in preparing students for a future career. And of course, our FFA and our agricultural teachers are not a stranger to receiving these recognitions. We appreciate their work and proud to have them in Visalia. Continuing, we have a special recognition this evening. I'd like to ask athletic trainer Kelly Cleaver to come forward. So we always like to have people come and stand awkwardly in front of the crowd. It's just part of it. And if you don't mind, just have a stand right here so I can read something about you to make it even more, exciting. But in all seriousness, you never know when a situation will happen where you'll need to respond. Recently at an event when an opposing team's fan suffered a heart attack or what was going to be a heart attack in the bleachers, Golden West athletic trainer Kelly Cleaver immediately sprang into action. With her training, she found the individual without a pulse, performed CPR until the pulse returned as the individual was transported to the hospital. Now, athletic trainers, along with coaches and others, are trained in injury prevention and care, as well as CPR and AED. But being trained and then putting that in action in the spur of the moment in an emergency situation are two different things. And so we want to thank you and recognize you, Kelly, for being prepared and responding to the situation. Our student athletes are safer because you are in our schools. And so I want to say congratulations. Thank you for your service. And if it's all right with you, we'll have the board come down. We'll do a photo, and then that will end the moment. I'll stand over the side and let the board come down. Kelly, why don't you come in? Yeah. Yes, we move over just a bit. There you go. Thank you. Go ahead. All right. I would just like to also point out, again, just the importance of training and people being prepared for these situations. We've had several staff members and even students who have been recognized for these heroic actions. And so being trained and knowledgeable about what to do, but then having the wherewithal to respond when it, is the situation calls for it, saves lives. And so we appreciate all of our employees and especially our athletic trainers and individuals like Kelly who sprung into action in those events. So thank you for letting us recognize you. Oftentimes, heroes don't necessarily like to be recognized, so we appreciate that effort. Spotlight on sports. Elementary flag football and soccer championships and soccer camp recently. Viva Blunt defeated Golden Oak in the flag football championship game. I should mention all 27 elementary sites participated. Hurley defeated Viva Blunt in the soccer championship game. On October 25th, elementary soccer students also attended camp and a college tour at Fresno Pacific University. So again, another example of some of the great activities that extended learning opportunity programs are bringing for our students and our schools. Of course, hard to miss, Rivalry Week just recently occurred. This was the 70th year of Cowhide and the 20th a battle for the saddle. I mean, that's amazing when you think about the longevity of that. Starting well before the game, the high schools have weeks of competition, including dance-off, band battles, food events, and other sorts of things that ramped up the school spirit. Love how the entire community embraces this rivalry, and often at these games you'll see individuals who went to the schools all coming back to share in that experience. So congratulations for all of our high schools for being able to have such a type event and be in good sportsmanship throughout it. We appreciate that. Spotlight on visual and performing arts. The Redwood Ranger Marching Band and Color Guard earned their second overall championship of the season, taking first place in 5A, plus high percussion, high general effect, and the top tournament score of 90.6 at the Titan Invitational. La Jolla Middle School Explorer Band and Color Guard earned first place in their class at the Pismo Beach Band Review, winning the Captain Award for high music and general effects scores. And Dance Force opened their season with a third place finish in advanced D1 Palm at the USA Central Cal Regional, competing against some of the strongest performers in the Central Valley. Now, another great event, we've talked a little bit about careers tonight. Many of us had the opportunity, myself included, to attend, was our eighth grade career day and CTE day hosted at Mount Whitney. We had over 2,000 eighth grade students. Shout out to our transportation team and others. It worked like clockwork to get all of these students there. Attended Career Day 2025 representing all 9 middle schools. The event featured 50-plus CTE pathways, academies, and community partners showcasing career opportunities. Follow-up surveys were completed, so students saw things they were interested in. They could fill out an interest form, and then those academies follow up with more information and then how to apply if you're interested in being part of one of the academies/pathways. And so every high school visual performing arts department were there presenting as well. And so it was just a great day. The weather was great. And I know the students enjoyed seeing all the opportunities that are available as they transition from middle school to high school. Recently, we had our 4th annual American Indian Resource Fair and Fresno State visit on October 8th. Sequoia High School hosted the 4th annual American Indian Resource Fair. The event welcomed approximately 100 attendees, including students and parents who came together to engage, learn, and celebrate. Vendors were available as well, and the event continues to be an opportunity to highlight our American Indian families and to connect with community partners. We look forward to continuing this tradition each year, and I'd also like to say, in honor of Native American Heritage Month, the American Indian Program is excited to host a special trip for 15 Native high school students who are going to get to attend Fresno State's Native American Heritage Night this coming Saturday, where the Bulldogs take on, or just happened, where the Bulldogs take on the Wyoming Cowboys. So a great experience for them. They'll get to tour the campus and other things and be part of the tailgate event as well. Another event that we have, and we changed it up a little bit this year, our student advisory is not new, but really took a step this year to really increase participation in that event, bringing district staff to the students and students' opportunity to come together. We hosted our first one this year at Redwood High School. Our next one occurs after Thanksgiving break at Mount Whitney. And so each comprehensive high school will host all of our advisory, over 100-plus students from elementary, middle, and high, coming together to seeing a little bit about what the school has to offer, but then most of the time is spent working in small groups, tackling district issues, getting feedback for the district staff, for us to listen and learn together. The goal is to create the conditions for our students to succeed, and we can only do that when we put their voice front and center. So I want to thank Redwood for hosting the first event. The students got to walk through kind of a musical tunnel, which was great. They were very excited, especially the elementary kids. They had lunch. And again, shout out to just so many people helped with the logistics. And again, our transportation team, similar to the CTE event, had to deliver students by 9, pick them up by 12 from all of our sites. And again, it just worked like clockwork. And so I just want to say how much I appreciate everyone, and especially our students. You don't need to worry if they really tell us what they're thinking. I can tell you they do. And this is a great opportunity for our district team to come and listen and ask questions. And so we look forward to continuing our great tradition of our student advisories this year. Another great event recently, last week, we had our State of the District. This has become now a yearly event, a little bit of a different format each year. This year, over 100 community members joined us at Houston Elementary, where we honored 60 years of history, achievement, and community growth, gave an update on our strategic plan, but then also got to walk through classrooms that were engaged in highly effective instruction to really see what instruction looks like in our schools, and also modernization. So being able to see a site that's experiencing modernization of their classrooms and what that means for students and the community when they have a site that's modernized. And so really great event, and we appreciate all our community partners and our students and that made the food, that put the flowers together, that provided the entertainment. It was a wonderful event, and thank you to all of those folks for making it become a great reality. Spotlight on social media, a lot going on. Of course, we're about to, we had fall break, we had celebrated school lunch week, we had Safe Schools Week, School Bus Safety Week, we had Red Ribbon Week and Halloween on a Friday, wait, it was a Friday, yes, which educators are thankful for, usually. Weekends are better. High Five Friday, Native American Heritage Month, School Psychology Week, Veterans Day, and also want to announce our long-range facilities meeting. So families and community are going to be notified. We have 2 meetings coming up before the winter break, and we'll also be recording this as well for those that may not be able to attend in person. But mark your calendars if you're able to attend. Those are December 2nd and December 6th, you know, the eyesight there. And we're going to send out the information. And but they're at 6 o'clock, and we'll be re-engaging in the community and what is next for our facilities when we think about high schools, when we think about boundaries. We'll talk about enrollment, we'll talk about finances, all of those things. So we invite our community to one of these 2 events or to watch online once it's posted there to engage with what's next. Because again, school facilities, a strong school system, all contribute to a healthy community. And so we're really excited to share what's next and get our community's feedback. Madam President, that concludes my report.
Thank you, Superintendent Schramm. Next up is the Strategic Plan Theme 2 updates. Presenter is Executive Director of Student Services, Natalie Garza.
Good evening, Board President Naylor, Board Superintendent Schramm, and community. Tonight, I will be updating you on our strategic plan, specifically Theme 2. This evening, you will see all 3 of our core beliefs brought to life through the work of Theme 2, with our commitment serving as the foundation of our design and development of our strategic actions. This slide connects our core beliefs, our commitments for student learning, and our mission of every student learning every day. At the top, you'll see the board's direction and your focus on improving academic outcomes. In the middle, we show the bridge between what the board is asking for and the outcomes that we are designing toward. And at the bottom, we provide transparency, showing how we monitor and report progress to the board and to our community. And here we have an overview of USD's strategic plan. It's large. As you can see, it is thoroughly addressing the needs of our students and community to move us forward to 2030. Tonight, our focus is on Theme 2, empowering our students, engaging families, and connecting with the community. This theme takes a comprehensive approach to strengthening existing systems and designing new ones to ensure every Visalia student is supported, connected, and thriving. It also highlights the importance of meaningful partnerships with families and our broader community, working together to empower students and foster their success. The first focus area tonight will be service enhancement. This all lives within the initiative of redesigning the special education service model. The first action item, is establishing educationally related mental health services, or ERMS programming. This work is centered on building a comprehensive system of mental health supports that align with students' educational needs. By developing ERMS programming under our local district control, We ensure that students receive timely, coordinated mental health services woven into the fabric of their day that reduces barriers to learning, promotes emotional well-being, and strengthens alignment among general education, special education, and student support teams. The Student Services team engaged in extensive research and design to establish educationally related mental health services. As part of the research phase, the team attended several student wellness conferences, connected with 3 other districts to learn from their ERMS models, and met with both Tulare County Office of Education and Health and Human Services Agency to deepen our understanding of existing supports and service structures. Working with community partners and our county office, we built a coordinated, student-centered system that lays the groundwork for a sustainable and responsive ERMS program. Early implementation of educationally related mental health services began in 2024-25 school year. Using self-sustaining ERMS funding, we built a comprehensive team designed to provide direct mental health support, proactive behavior intervention, and coordinated assessment services. This team forms the foundation of a strong district-wide ERMS system. Since implementation began, we've already seen measurable improvements. Among students receiving ERMS services, attendance has increased by more than 5%, suspensions have decreased by 24%, and behavioral incidents per student have dropped by 43% compared to last year. These early results demonstrate the positive impact of integrating mental health and behavior supports to create a more connected and supportive learning environment for students. So just to give you an example, the bar on the far left represents when ERMS services were provided by an outside agency. The middle bar was last school year until October, and the far right bar is where we are now. And so you can see that progress towards improving attendance and reducing suspensions and behavior incidents. But beyond the numbers, the true impact is seen in our student stories. One student whose mother shared her gratitude in a recent email had once only dreamed of graduating until the support of our ERMS team helped make it possible. Another student who hadn't attended school in more than 5 years recently went to Sequoia High School and registered to start again. These moments remind us that this work goes far beyond data points, and it's about restoring hope, rebuilding confidence, and reconnecting students to their educational future. The next focus area we will be updating you on tonight is student connectedness. Zooming in further, the initiative is ensure every student is connected to at least one meaningful activity. And the action item is enhancing access and engagement in school-based opportunities. Research shows that students involved in even one school activity have higher grades, better attendance, and lower dropout rates. They are nearly 3 times more likely to excel academically and more likely to graduate and remain connected to school. The board recognized the importance of this work and emphasized the need for systems that ensure every student is meaningfully connected to their school community. This commitment directly supports our priority student outcome number 2 by promoting belonging, engagement, and academic success. Through this work, we're doing more than tracking engagement. We're helping every student find their place, their purpose, and their reason to show up and thrive. We have created a new dashboard in PowerSchool. The dashboard allows us to identify students who are connected in a meaningful activity, so our teams can reach out, remove barriers, and create opportunities for students who are not yet connected. It provides real-time insight into which students are participating in school activities and reveals important patterns in academics, behavior, and attendance among both engaged and disengaged students. With this data-driven approach, counselors and school staff can intentionally connect with students who may not yet feel a sense of belonging and design opportunities that align with their interests and needs. Understanding who is engaged is just the beginning. To truly expand connection, we need to listen to our students. Through Student Voice, we're empowering students to share their ideas, shape their school experiences, and help us create opportunities that reflect their passions and aspirations. The final focus area we will be updating on tonight is supportive learning and growth. Zooming in further, the initiative is advanced student involvement in their own education. To do this, we must expand opportunities for student voice, ensuring that students are not only heard, but actively shaping the future of their schools. This initiative focuses on creating meaningful avenues for students to share their perspective, influence decision-making, and actively contribute to shaping the overall school experience across Visalia Unified. By elevating student voice, we're ensuring that our systems reflect the experiences and ideas of those we serve most directly, our students. During the 24-25 school year, our team focused on expanding voice, belonging, and shared leadership across Visalia Unified, ensuring every student feels valued, connected, and empowered to contribute to their school community. In spring of 24, the team explored raising student voice and participation, or RSVP, a student voice model that has 3 phases that asks for voice, recommendation, and action. In addition, we partnered with other districts to determine how best to bring that model to VUSD. The team expanded its work by collaborating with San Marcos High School to study how RSVP turns student input into action, and by connecting with other nearby districts to compare local engagement practices. These insights are guiding the design of a unified sustainable student voice system for VUSD. We are elevating student voice through 3 powerful structures: the Superintendent's Student Advisory, USAV, and the State Seal of Civic Engagement. The next slides highlight how each empowers our students to lead. During our early years of development, the primary source of student feedback came through the Superintendent's Student Advisory Group, which met twice in person and 4 times virtually each year. These meetings provided a consistent avenue for students to share their perspectives on district initiatives and offer input on ways to strengthen belonging and engagement across schools. Building on that foundation, the 25-26 school year marks a significant expansion of our student voice structures. Rather than relying on a single advisory group, the district has developed multiple student advisory and leadership forums across schools and programs, engaging principals and ASLs as effective partners in this process. The design allows for broader representation, more frequent feedback, and stronger connections between student perspectives and district decision-making. Through this multi-year design process, we are establishing a cohesive, sustainable system that ensures student voice is not just heard, but meaningfully embedded in how we plan, make decisions, and improve schools across Visalia Unified. The United Student Advisory of Visalia, or USAV, serves as a secondary level extension of the Superintendent's Student Advisory. This district-wide coalition brings together high school ASB leaders and student voice representatives who meet monthly to collaborate on district initiatives and share site-level feedback. USAV connects student leadership teams all across Visalia Unified schools, creating a unified approach to student voice, school culture, and student engagement. The group functions as a bridge between school sites and the district, ensuring that ideas and data collected at individual campuses flow upward to the superintendent's student advisory and back down to schools for implementation. In addition, this is where student board representatives develop content for their board reports. Thank you for being here tonight and doing that. Through this system, students are not only sharing their perspective, but also collaborating to identify solutions and drive meaningful change. The focus of USAV is on collaboration, alignment, and impact, helping students translate feedback into concrete movements that strengthen both their individual school communities and the district as a whole. And finally, the State Seal of Civic Engagement is a California recognition honoring students who demonstrate excellence in civic learning and community impact. It highlights students who identify an issue they care about and take meaningful action to create change in their school and community. In Visalia Unified, participation in the SSCE continues to grow each year. Last year, 160 students earned that seal. This upward trajectory reflects a deepening commitment to civic learning across our schools. The program builds skills in research, collaboration, communication, and leadership through real-world projects that align with California's standards for civic readiness. In VUSD, the SSCE connects directly to our broader student voice system, empowering students to transform their ideas and passions into meaningful community-focused action. Everything shared today, from the development of our student voice systems to the launch of USAV and the State Seal of Civic Engagement, reflects our district's ongoing commitment to ensuring students are not only heard, but actively shaping their future schools. Thank you so much for your time and continued support as we work to advance the priorities of our strategic plan and elevate student voice and leadership across our district.
Thank you. Any board member comments or questions? Go ahead, board member Gamoy.
This is my favorite thing. I love it that we're keeping track of kids who are involved, because when kids are involved, there's less behavior issues. They do better, like you said. USAV has been around for a long time, and now it's very meaningful that their voice matters. They've been part of creating our strategic plan. And so this is a very important part of our plan. So thank you.
Any other? Okay, thank you so much. Moving on to general public comment. General public comment on any topic not on the agenda may be heard at this time. If you have public comment on an item listed on tonight's agenda, there will be an opportunity for you to share your comments at the time the item comes up for discussion by the board. Pursuant to board policy, the board will limit individual comments for general public comment to no more than 3 minutes and individual topics to 20 minutes. To comply with the Brown Act, which is California's open public meeting law, board discussion is limited to items on the agenda. Therefore, when receiving public comment for items not on the agenda, the board's role is limited to receiving such comments, and the board may not engage in dialogue with the public. The board thanks the public for its participation in public comment and understanding of the board's responsibility. It is recommended you begin your comments by stating your name. And I have one right now, Lisa McCastill.
Hello, my name is Lisa. This isn't the first time I've stood here in front of you guys. The last time I was here, I was addressing the issue of the distance in which students have to walk from school to the school, which was 3 miles. And I have noticed that you guys did make an accommodation from the 3 miles to 2 miles. So I appreciate you guys hearing me out, and not necessarily me, but hearing out the needs of the community, because to walk 6 miles to get to school was hard, and I appreciate that very much. Today I come with another issue, and this one is in regards to a law that's titled Every Student Success Act. I just want to take a little quick census. How many people know that once your child turns 18 that their information is distributed to the military? By a raise of hand. Anybody? Did you know? Yeah. One gentleman out of the whole room is aware that students' information at the age of 17 is distributed to the military. Apparently, from what I've learned this evening, like right as I walked in, Mark took me to the side and informed me that you guys do have an option to opt out for students, but that is inside of your guys' book on page 45. It's not readily available to the students, and my belief is that a misinformed or uninformed choice is not a choice at all. So you guys are permitting for the military to gain access to students' informations without providing them the information to them. Not even parents in the room. There's only one person here that is aware of this. So I would really appreciate if we could add that to the the admissions packet. You know how you guys have the parents sign for their students' images to be distributed? Something readily available to the parents in the packet versus having to go into this big book on page 45 and reading through. A person that's dyslexic is not going to get past page 5. I'm sorry. That's just, it's a lot of information to get through to be able to know that your student's information is going to be distributed to the military. Yeah, I think that was it. I really do appreciate you guys making the accommodations for the bus, because for me personally, we have to walk from Caldwell and Lover's Lane all the way over here, and my daughter still can't catch the bus. So if we can add buses to the route so that the students that are accommodated can actually get onto the bus, that would be nice. You did make the change, but there's no room on the bus for the students to catch the bus. So if we could do that as well as making the change, because there's really no difference. And okay, you made the change. Good job. I appreciate it. Good job. Thank you. But if you don't have the buses available for the students, there's no difference made. Thank you.
Thank you. Moving on to 6.0, consent agenda. Would any board member like to pull an item from the consent agenda?
Yes.
Go ahead.
6.50.
Any other items? Okay. May I have a motion to approve the consent agenda other than the 6.50? Do I have a motion?
I'll make the motion, please.
I'll second the motion.
On a motion by Board Member Belt, seconded by Board Member DeJong. Call for the vote.
Motion passes 6 yes, no no's. Student votes yes, 1 absent.
Okay. Go ahead, Board Member Gamon, 6.5.
Item 6.50 has to do with my absence of the last meeting.
Okay, thank you. So do I have a motion to approve 6.5? Oh,
I'll motion.
on a motion by Villegas,
Second.
second by Odo. Call for the vote.
Motion passes 5 yes, 1 abstain, 1 absent. Student votes yes.
Okay, moving right along to item 7, Student Representative Report, Miss Yasmin Rangel from Visalia Technical Early College, High School.
Good evening, board members. My name is Yasmin Rangel, and I'm a junior at VTech High School and a member of USAV, our district-wide student leadership team. This has been a very busy and exciting month for USAV. Our team participated in 2 major district-level meetings, the Superintendent Student Advisory event hosted at Redwood High School, and our regular monthly meetings of USAV at the district office. At the Superintendent Student Advisory meeting, students from elementary, middle school, and high schools came together to share their perspectives. We had an opportunity to meet with other ASLs, collaborate with strategic plan action owners, and discuss topics such as meaningful engagement, mental health, and LCAP funding. The exposure was beneficial for each student from being able to learn from each other across all grade levels, making the experience both powerful and inspiring. During our monthly USAV meetings, we reviewed and analyzed data on student involvement and participation. The data showed that while schools are offering many opportunities for students to get connected, there is still room for improvement that students are willing to aid and implement. We also met with Marlena Seya and provided extensive feedback on the LCAP. Thank you for your time, and now we will move on to our site level reports. At El Diamante High School, October was an outstanding month for El Diamante High School, highlighted by strong community engagement, athletic success, and meaningful service. They kicked off Rivalry Week with a joint event with Golden West in 1952, bringing together more than 200 participants for a friendly competitions on the TCOE Tim Higher Field. Service remained a core focus. El Diamante High School students and staff donated over 1,200 canned goods to the FCRC food pantry, and their FFA members contributed nearly 800 more to the Visalia rescue mission. At Golden West, on October 31st, Golden West ASB proudly hosted an incredible Battle for the Saddle week-long celebration. Students enjoyed a variety of games, spirited activities, and engaging rallies designed to strengthen school pride and their campus together. ASB is now entering their season of service and shifting focus to the Adopt a Star program. Their team is organizing materials, coordinating with feeder schools, and preparing to support students who may be in need this holiday season. This meaningful tradition allows their campus to give back, strengthen community connections, and make a positive impact on future trailblazers. At Mount Whitney High School on October 28th, Mount Whitney showed up for the Great Rivalry Week Showdown at Taylor's Hot Dog Stand. Mount Whitney won the dunk tank competition. Everyone enjoyed the battles between band, cheer, and dance. On October 29th, Mount Whitney ASB hosted the 3rd annual Trunk or Treat. There were performances from all Mount Whitney dances classes with Washington elementary schools. Our trick-or-treat treaters participated in a costume contest and enjoyed face painting, pumpkin painting, and, of course, all of the candy. At Redwood is gearing up for their December 13th Rangers Give Back event, which centers on service and family support. They are organizing donations for their free clothing closet and food pantry, coordinating student volunteers, finalizing community partner participation, and preparing stations for a student makers market and family learning sessions. At Sequoia had 11 students participate in the forestry challenge that took place in San Bernardino Mountains November 5th through 8th. Sequoia students took a CTE field trip to Kauai Health on November 14th to explore careers in the healthcare industry. At VCIS on October 23rd, over 30 VCIS juniors and seniors attended TCO East Trades Day at the Porterville Fairgrounds, where students were introduced to industry career opportunities in construction, design, subcontracting, heavy equipment, engineering, and other skilled trades. They had a great time and they were excited about what they learned about possible career paths in their future. The past few weeks, VCIS staff and students have enjoyed sharing what they are thankful for by posting their thankful feathers onto the large turkey student activities class created. It has been a nice way for students and staff to connect with each other about what they are thankful for this fall season. At VTech is preparing for their FFA banquet, along with the float that will be entered into the parade in early December, which will be created by dedicated students on campus. VTech had a great evening of connection 2 weeks ago with our Spanish club and co-host Grow and Grow Club in a movie night to build the school's culture of connectedness, showing great passion for a sense of belonging. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That was great. That's one of my favorite parts of the school, of our meetings, and I'm sure my other board members agree. You know, it's nice to see what's going on in the school, so thank you so much. You did a great job. Moving on to board reports, we'll start with Board Member Villegas.
Thank you, President Naylor. I had the pleasure of joining the Sierra View Trunk or Treat event, which brought together tons of community, and it was great to be handing out candy there with Councilman Soto and so many folks in our community, so many creative costumes. That was really fun to see. So I want to thank all the staff and leadership at that site for making sure it was such a great community event. Also wanted to wish happy belated Veterans Day to all of our veterans here who serve as teachers or classified employees and administrators. Every year, I'm reminded of this, not just, on Veterans Day, but at our graduation ceremony, where we honor, each of our country's branches and seeing both our staff who have served and students who have committed themselves to making that sacrifice for our country and that commitment to our country. So I want to, wish everybody a happy belated Veterans Day. Had the pleasure, along with several of my colleagues, in visiting Shannon Ranch Elementary School as they were preparing for their Dia de los Wranglers event, which I heard was a big hit with tons of folks in the community gathering. And we got to see a lot of the beautiful decorations, listen to some of the beginning band and orchestra, learning their instruments. And it's amazing to see our, advanced orchestra tonight and just seeing that culmination, that journey of students starting at the beginning and continuing to progress. And that doesn't happen without excellent support from teachers teachers, from our staff, and from parents who are committed to putting up with some of the screeching noises early on. And another thing I just want to highlight about that visit was we had visiting one of our elementary school sites, and forgive me, I'm forgetting the teacher's name off the top of my head, but I distinctly remember her addressing her students as, okay, scholars, it's time to come together. And just the immediate grasp that students held and recognizing themselves not just as students, but truly as scholars, and how much that means to me as a board member for students to see themselves as scholars, to envision themselves, to have that affirmed every day in the classroom. I just thought was very moving. And I know there's, other schools who address students as learners and all these sorts of things. And I just think it's so powerful. And I could see the attention and the joy in every student's learning experience in that class. And I want to, excited to continue to see that replicated all throughout our district. Finally, I wanted to thank our Family Community Resource Center. I know they recently held a workshop there with the UFW Foundation, the United Farm Workers Foundation, and I also want to see how we can potentially encourage some of those workshops to also begin to take place at our sites. I think seeing, the trunk or treat events, seeing the Dia de los Wranglers, and so many carnivals, fairs, events at our school sites, I think that's really the place in which families and communities feel the most safe, the most trusted, the most connected to their local school community. And so I'm glad that we had that workshop at the Resource Center, and would love to see those types of workshops expanded and offered at several of our sites across the district. And so I want to work with staff to see if we can potentially make that happen. And that concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you. Board Member Gamoyan?
I just wanted to point out on the consent agenda, we have 2 more colleges that we have automatic admission to, and that's Cal State Sonoma and Cal State Channel Islands, which makes 5 altogether. Yeah, so we have guaranteed admissions for those juniors that qualify. Also, additionally, we have Fresno State, UC Merced, and Pacific University. So we do have scholars, and we have opportunity for them to go directly into a 4-year university. So thank you for that work.
Thank you. Board Member DeJong?
Thank you, President Naylor. I want to talk about a couple site visits that I had. I had a great visit to Ridgeview Middle School with Principal Mueller. Go Raptors. And we did climb some few stairs and visited several classrooms. It was really great to see every cohort teaching the same curriculum all at the same time, which, when you see that in lockstep, it's pretty impressive. And I understand that that's not an easy thing to always accomplish. It's also worth mentioning, too, that the posted success criteria and standards were highly visible, which is always really good to hear. And I actually had a compliment from a student about that and how it helped them stay on task, which doesn't always happen. That's kind of a rare thing to hear from a kid. And then I also had another visit to Golden West High School with Principal Lambert, who graciously chauffeured us around from building to building. So thank you for that. It was really good to see the similarities. Well, it's always good to see that with all the different sites and schools, but it was right on. Same thing with instruction pacing between the two schools, the learning intentions from class to class. And we also had the wonderful opportunity to speak with Mr. Schultz, the award-winning Mr. Schultz over at Ag Mechanics, which if you haven't been to that shop, it's actually a very, very nice shop and very clean, which is also a difficulty that sometimes happens with ag shops, just from my own experience. But what was really awesome to see is there was an old Cushman utility cart there being taken apart, which actually brought some memories back to me, because we actually had one of those as a kid growing up that we used to have to hit the starter solenoid on to get it going. And so it was great to see the flat 2-cylinder on the table getting torn apart with the students there learning. Those things are just great to see, the different dynamics that are offered to the kids, not just cookie cutter instruction. It's very, very dynamic and very awesome to see everybody getting their hands dirty. But then another thing to mention too, talking about compliments, is that, with that student compliment, I also had a couple of compliments from staff, and these are kind of struck me a little more important. And this is from different sites too, about how the district's strategic direction that we've been taking, with our short-term, long-term plan, and that how that direction has been matching our actions. And so that's probably one of the best compliments that I, as a board member, can actually hear, because especially in this political world today, it's sometimes a rare occurrence to where you actually hear rhetoric meet actual actions. And so please keep that coming. Love to hear that kind of stuff. But also don't hold back if there's something that's a concern too, because, that's ultimately what we're here for, which is all communication is welcome. And so, kind of referring back to the political rhetoric part of that, a word of advice for Thanksgiving, just don't do it. I've been there, done that. Just enjoy family and friends. Don't talk about politics. It's never a good thing. So lastly, with Thanksgiving, safe travels, this upcoming break. Wish everybody a joyful time with family and friends for Thanksgiving. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Board Member Belt.
Thank you, President Naylor. I also want to highlight 3 different fall festivals, whatever we want to call them. I can't even pronounce what Shannon Ranch called it. Yes, anyway, Spanish. Wranglers, go Wranglers. And what was remarkable about attending that evening was the community that has taken place. That you don't always see that in some of our school sites in the city of Visalia. You see it more often in Goshen and Ivanhoe, which I also attended and saw dynamically. But what an amazing impact that our school sites are making in the community itself. And so thank you so much, Principal Rasner. Let me come and spend time there at Ivanhoe and enjoy I can't remember what I even ate there. Too many different things. And seeing their folklorio. She says, actually, she's the agent for the folklorio dance troupe. So if your school site wants to have one, just contact Principal Rasner. She would like to book them as much as possible. It was a great experience for them as well. And the families that they had to turn the lights off to get them to leave because they didn't want to leave. And the Shannon Ranch group, I've never seen as diverse activities. They have bounce houses. They had the opportunity to ride the train that All Aboard was there, the little miniature train. And again, a stage that was lit up for everyone to enjoy dance troupes all night long. And families were, every classroom hosted a booth. So they had different types of activities and fun things to do. But again, it was connected with each classroom as well as the families and students. So thank you all the staff, the teachers, Principal Bingaman for making an amazing activity. Then the adult school fall festival had quite a different flavor. Why is that? Well, because they're adults. It was a very different kind of event in the middle of the day, but also, again, giving them some resources. They had lots of different community partners there to help them see what's available beyond their educational completion at the adult school. So thank you again, Mrs. Olson, Principal Olson there. I want to highlight, too, there was an item in our consent agenda that quite often we have a lot of things in the consent agenda, but something that's been very overdue is that we made a transition as of, well, I'd say today, but I think the contract started earlier this month. And that is to shift what we've always called accompanists. And one of those famous ones is actually in the room tonight, but I'm not going to embarrass her. She's been in the school district for 21 years. And yet she was actually kind of relegated in the salary structure as a college student who could play functional piano. But our accompanists have now been given a new designation. We now call them collaborative pianists in vocal music. And that's what they really are. They're the right or left hand of our choir directors, our music people, but they're more than just someone who sits at the piano. They literally are the anchor for all of our music and choir activities at all of our high schools and all of our middle schools. So I think it's way overdue, but thank you, staff, for doing what I've been asking for a couple of years. Can we just pay them a little bit more? Well, it's all the structure of, well, we finally figured it all out. Thank you for doing that. Whoever finally did that, and CSCA got behind it as well, and we made a new designation for people who are valuable. We've had many, our VAPA director, I'll just give him a little bit of history. We have had many accompanists who had to go get employment elsewhere because they really could not afford to continue to be paid so little. So thank you for increasing that. Is that enough advertisement for our, thank you so much, all of our companies for so many, many years. The also an interesting thing that happens apparently almost like clockwork. It's almost like on the calendar. You know that certain dates are going to make, how can I say this? A demand for more substitutes. I'll just say it that way. November 10th is one of those, especially when it falls on the 11th is actually Veterans Day, and it made a 4-day, for whatever reason. So we had a need for more substitutes. And we have a policy in the district office that we have, I'd call them a strike team, but you had a better, Superintendent Shrum called them a deployment team. And we take our instructional, what do we call those? Our instructional coaches, and deploy them to make extra substitutes available. But we're floating an additional idea. And I just want you to hear about this, that I'd like to propose that more of our district office folks who can will be on a list that every month they do a substitute job, so that we will have a greater connection. I know some of you are going, oh no, are you kidding me? We'll have a greater connection of what we're doing regularly, daily, month by month with the classroom, as well as supply more substitutes. What an amazing number. I don't know how many that means. I haven't done the study. I don't know if that means dozens or 1 dozen, but taking district office folks and having them be substitutes would just increase our availability for substitutes. And if we did it on a monthly basis, we would actually save a lot of money as well as making that connection. So I put that out there as a future activity that I'm going to help encourage. The car show that Golden West Choir has was not just a car show with lots of cars, and it wasn't just a choir performance. They had individual student performances all day long. And that's exactly what needs to be happening. It's not just a fundraiser, it's an activity that students, parents were all involved with helping to happen, as well as the community had, of course, tons of activities to take a part of, either eating or seeing some pretty crazy and amazing cars. I'd like to also highlight the Leaders of Tomorrow Care Academy that I attended, and highlight once again the amazing work that our CTE program is doing in making a connection for students to see why they're going to school, what real world applications can happen, but also particularly for those who are in a scope and intentionally initiating their education as to where can this take us? Where can I, and there's no better way than having those who have been doing just that to be able to be asked questions, interviewed, and find out, how did you get there? What did it take? How, am I on the right track? Is this something that I really want to do or not? And then with that, of course, with the 8th grade career day, we called it, was also this amazing opportunity for 2,000 of our students to see what CTE is all about. All the different choices, 32 of them, of our academies and our pathways, so that they can see it. Now, I even saw from VTech, one of our instructors was there to help students understand how a fire extinguisher works. We actually had a little demo fire, and one little gal, I mean, she was little, she couldn't squeeze the fire extinguisher handle. So you go, okay, wait, let me show you something. Let it be on the ground, lean on it. And she learned that she, at 90 pounds, could actually lean on the handle and put the fire out because she didn't have to have the strength in her hands. Practical, everyday, real hands-on from all kinds of folks from the community who came out and helped us do that. The Navy strike team was one of the most incredible travel virtual reality programs I've ever seen. Everything from you could actually on screen do underwater welding. You could actually drive a boat. You could fly a plane on an aircraft carrier with virtual reality goggles and controls. Again, another opportunity for students to see what it would be like to be in the Navy and to make some assessment for themselves. The dental day, that's what I called it, that Dr. Barnes did at Ivanhoe, was quite remarkable to watch, to see how they involved parents to actually escort these students to the dental room, the temporary dental room with 2 chairs. And as the parents were assisting them, I was walking behind one, and this young guy just said, is my mom going to be there? And the parent who was escorting him, because she's already here. And he goes, oh, thank the Lord, because he was so nervous about what this was going to be like. That in itself was more than just checking their teeth. They found out that they could actually go to the dentist and survive. And they had quite a welcoming party with not only our staff, and thank you, Sandra Polk and her whole team, who made this a huge, wonderful, natural opportunity to have Dr. Barnes give back and our students to benefit, and family. Every parent was there watching what was happening with their student. The last thing I want to highlight is the Golden West playoffs. I enjoyed watching from the last, actually 4 games, but these last 2 games in the playoffs were very, very hard fought. And I want to encourage Coach Anderson and all the staff and all the young athletes at Golden West. Well done. A great season. It didn't just come to an end. It came to a fruition of, okay, there's going to be more next year. And a lot of those young athletes are going to be back. And we will say tonight, because it's not necessarily my kid's school or the school I've been with, but thank you and congratulations, Redwood. You're still going and you have some more playoffs. But our young people are showing more than just being athletes, but sportsmanship. And I thank all of our coaches for helping that happen.
Board Member Odo?
No report except to say or to wish everyone in the organization, kids and adults alike, a happy, healthy, and safe Thanksgiving next week and a good trip into the final part of the first half of the school year.
Thank you. My report's going to be short, very short also. I just want to give a kudos to Principal Tompkins and his staff for putting on an amazing Veterans Day celebration. They did it. It was just kind of gave me goosebumps and tears, and especially when the kids sang the patriotic songs. It was just a very well done event. So thank your staff for that. Also, I did Shannon Ranch, and I just want to thank the principal, Dory Bingaman, and also Principal Rasner for touring the campus. Great things that I saw, ticket out the door. Board Member Villegas, thank you, because you did a great job on your report, so you kind of cut off some of mine, but you did a good job on that, so thank you. Same thing, you guys have a great Thanksgiving. Enjoy your families, a much-needed week off, and be safe. We'll go on to the superintendent's report. Superintendent Kirkstrom.
Thank you, President Naylor. Also, wish everyone a good break coming up. Our students, our teachers, everyone's been working really hard. Busy time of year as we have conferences and exams and different things will be happening. So a lot of work still occurring in the classrooms in that 3-week window when we're back. Everyone will be working hard, so enjoy the week and looking forward to finishing the year, this semester strong. Also be on the lookout for our community facilities meetings that will be coming up, and we hope to see our community engage with us as we talk about very important future conversations for the growth of our district and our schools. So that concludes my report.
Thank you, Superintendent Strom. Moving on to 10, Administrative Panel Recommendations and Actions. We'll move on to Recommended Expulsions, 10.1. May I have a motion to approve the recommended expulsions?
So moved.
I'll second.
On a move by Board Member Gamoyen, second by, was that Villegas? I'm sorry, Board Member DeYoung. Call for the vote.
Motion passes 6 yes, 1 absent, and the student abstains.
Okay, moving on to 11.1, Visalia Unified Teachers Association Interest Initial Proposal for Certificated Negotiations, first read. Presenter is Visalia Unified Teachers Association, Patrick Hemphill.
Thanks. I went to the fancy one. Sorry. I'm off my rhythm. Good evening, Board. Good evening, Superintendent Shrum. I'm Patrick Hemphill. I'm the VUTA President. VUTA looks forward to opening the contract negotiations this year to reach a mutually agreeable contract for the coming year. This year, standard agreed upon articles will be reopened as always, including Article 8 class size, Article 10 salaries, and Article 12 employment benefits. In reality, however, the entire CBA is sort of open this year as our contract is set to expire at the end of the 25-26 school year. This year, VUTA hopes to address topics associated with elementary schedule, safety, and leaves. Additionally, we are interested in working conditions for all teachers in VUSD and expect to do some basic revisions on some of the evaluation forms that require updating. We look forward to productive interest-based bargaining sessions with the district. Thank you.
Thank you. This is an information-only item and no actions required. Moving on to 11.2, Presenter Assistant Superintendent of Human Resources, Mr. Ben Dillon. This is for Visalia Unified District Interest Initial Proposal for Certificate Negotiations, first read.
Thank you, Board President. So as you know, Government Code Section Article 8, 3547 requires that we go through this process and we share at a public meeting prior to commencing negotiations. And so the district, similar to our VUTA president shared, is excited about entering into this season of negotiations, negotiating a mutually agreeable contract through our interest-based bargaining process that address common interests and concerns in alignment with our district's foundations. As Mr. Hemphill mentioned, our current contract does expire on June 30th, 2026, and so we will engage in successor agreement negotiations for a new multi-year contract with all articles of the contract open. So we look forward to good faith negotiations with our partners in our Teachers Association. I'm encouraged by our continued commitment of both parties working collaboratively to elevate and equip teachers as professionals, acknowledging our commitment to student success and ensuring that every student is in fact learning every day. So, thank you.
Thank you. And again, this is an information-only item. There's no action required. Moving on to 11.3, public hearing based on a 30-day public review of preliminary environmental assessment, that's PEA, for Lowry Ranch East School site. I will now open the public hearing to allow for public comment on this item. Presenter is Chief Business Officer Nathan Hernandez.
So good evening, President Naylor, members of the board, and Superintendent Shrum. So this is the first of 2 public hearings related to the preliminary environmental assessments for 2 properties that we are proposing as elementary school sites. And so this first one is Lowry Ranch. This would be the property that we would propose to build on first, an elementary school. The California Department of Education requires that we go through a process through the Department of Toxic Substance Control, DTSC, to review properties and test and assess for toxic substances. And so this preliminary assessment is attached within your board report. There were no findings of any pesticides or lead or arsenic within the property above what would normally be found in properties. And so there are no mitigating measures that are needed. We are requesting, and the consultant is recommending, that no further action designation be proposed for this site, which would then go on to DTSC for final approval.
Okay. Any public comment? Any board member comment? Okay. I'm going to now close the public hearing and reconvene the regular session. May I have a motion to approve the public hearing based on 30-day public review of preliminary environmental assessment for Lowry Ranch, which is east on the school site?
I so move, yes.
Second.
Okay, so on a motion by Board Member Belt, second by Board Member Odo, call for the vote.
Motion passes 6 yes, 1 absent, and student votes yes.
Okay, moving on to 11.4, public hearing based on 30-day public review of preliminary environmental assessment for Carlton Acres School site. Again, I will now open the public hearing to allow for the public comment on this item. Again, presenter, Chief Business Officer Nathan Hernandez.
So similar to the last item, this public hearing is for a second site also in the Northwest. This would be part of a longer range plan as we follow trends of enrollment and growth and development within the Northwest. Same result on this report from the assessment in that they're requesting that determination of, no further action be found for this property as well as we move forward in the process.
Good, that's good news. Any public comment? Any board member comment? Okay, I'm going to close the public hearing and reconvene the regular session. May I have a motion to approve the public hearing based on 30-day public review of preliminary environmental assessment for Carlton Acres High School or School?
So moved.
Thank you. Second?
Second.
On a motion by Board Member Gamoyen, second by Board Member Odo, call for the vote.
Motion passes 6 yes, 1 absent, student votes yes.
Moving on to 11.5, 4217 Energy Services Master Agreement for Crowley and Houston Elementary Schools. Again, I will now open the public hearing to allow for public comment on this item. Chief Business Officer Nathan Hernandez again.
So this is not the same as the last two. This is an energy services agreement with SiteLogic under the Government Code Section 4217, which requires that this project be brought forward, that the cost of the project is less than the energy savings that would result in the project. And so this is lighting LED projects for both of those school sites, Crowley and Houston Elementary School. The cost of the project would be paid for through district facility funds. There would be energy savings over the lifespan of the project that would result in savings in the total project cost overall. And so again, we're recommending that the board adopt the resolution and findings of the savings and authorize superintendent and staff to move forward with an agreement.
Any public comment? Any board member comment? Okay, I'm going to close this public hearing and reconvene in the regular session. May I have a motion to approve the 4217 Energy Services Master Agreement for Crowley and Houston Elementary Schools?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
On a motion by Board Member Villegas, seconded by Board Member Gamoyen, call for the vote.
Motion passes 6 votes yes, 1 absent, student votes yes.
11.6, Notice of Intent to Employ Certificated Personnel and Approval of Variable Term Waiver Requests for CCSD Certification. Presenter, Assistant Superintendent of Human Resources Development, Ben Dillon.
Thank you very much. You so eloquently shared all of that. So my request is just going to be to approve what Board President Naylor just discussed with us.
Thank you, Mr. Dillon. May I have a motion to approve the Notice of Intent to Employ Certificated Personnel and Approval of Variable Term Waiver Request for CCSD Certification?
I'll move that we do this.
Nailed it.
Do you have a second? I'll second. Or did someone second it already? I'll second.
No, you second.
Call for the vote.
Motion passes 6 votes yes, 1 absent, student votes yes.
And moving on to 11.7, warrant lists, September 27th, 2025 to October 31st, 2025. May I have a motion to approve the warrant list from September 27th, 2025 to October 31st, 2025?
So moved.
Second?
I'll second.
On a motion by Board Member Odo, second by Board Member Belt, call for the vote.
Let's see, motion passes 5 votes yes, 1 absent, and 1 abstention. Student votes yes.
And with that, this meeting is